Hello, Black Sheep. I realised I was getting in my own way quite a bit because, well, I've been thinking I need to do like a proper intro video. Um, and honestly, just the thought of that has been like a big avoidant thing, where just the idea of having to sit down and schedule something and actually, like format something very specific. Even though I've got loads of stuff I want to talk about, too much stuff I want to talk about at this point, and the intersectionality of it all, and how I've gotten to the point I have, and why I'm here chatting to you folks now. But just the idea of having to structure all that was just making me get in my own way, really, and making me avoid it. So instead, today I feel a bit more like myself lately. I feel a little bit better titrated again on meds. HRT definitely needs a hike up, but I'm seeing the doctor in a couple of days. The hormones have been a little bit, as many of you who have gravitated towards me in recent years will probably relate to. So there's all that going on health-wise, but I have been feeling a bit better. I think some of you will have seen that I've shared some stuff that I had some family visiting that I wasn't expecting, so that was a lovely surprise, a little last minute thing. And also off the back of all my, Insta stuff being completely wiped, well, I've just taken it as a bit of an opportunity to let my nervous system rest a bit. I'm by no means tapped out. I'm still very interested in all the things that I'm interested in, all the social themes, all the injustice that we're, buckled under to varying degrees, all of that. Also, like I say, there is a lot of topics and a lot of life experience that I want to add to it, and a lot of new insight that I now have that's been great in recent months. So loads of stuff, but the idea of sitting down and scheduling a video, and also I have no idea how to do that, as in like film the video other than this on my phone. So for now this will have to do, but I do actually have, I was gifted a really lovely camera, good quality camera with a tripod and all the stuff, and you can, plug it in digitally to your computer or whatever. And I don't know how to use it, and I don't have a computer to use it with, but yeah, I'm going to figure all that techie stuff out later. I don't even really know, so if anyone wants to leave a comment or message me privately or whatever, with any suggestions. I don't know what kind of good free apps I could use, non-AI, obviously, if I can. Yeah, any free apps in terms of video editing, and really idiot friendly, user friendly, because I'm not exactly great with the tech. So yeah, any suggestions how to get started with this stuff if I want to add more of my creative flair into it now, and I want to use photography and things like that, and basically all these skills that I've always kind of had and pissed about with, but just never actually really maybe had the confidence to fully embrace, and also the time, I now have, being chronically ill and, recently diagnosed neurodivergent, and, perimenopausal and titrating and all that stuff. Yeah, it's given me more time on my hands, at least, mentally, creatively. And I would love to start really using some of those skills properly now, and just, putting them out there, however imperfectly. And like I say, I'm a bit of a novice when it comes to the techie stuff. So any suggestions of any free tools I could use to get started that are really simple but will allow me to use some of my digitally creative flair and my photographs and and also music apps and stuff to use. I use Tidal as my streaming service, but yeah, what's the deal with using music and adding music and things? Because obviously I know I don't want to be using anyone's content without permission, and I know obviously there's banks of kind of free ownership or open source music or something that you can use. I don't know, I've never done any of this. I've just been lurking around Insta for the longest time and creating all my huzzah stories that I love to do. And like my dumbass, I just didn't think to back anything up in terms of having across multi-platforms. I mean, I have these things. I've got YouTube, I've got TikTok now, but I just always kind of felt like, since I was so heavily shadow banned, that I was kind of safe in the doldrums of Insta, because nobody could see my shit anyway. Until they could more recently, and then it kind of blew up a bit, didn't it? But yeah, so I'm just going to post this to begin with. And I don't think I'm going to manage the structured, schedule-y, wait for a video, although I know if I'm going to try and do this to any degree that tries to get stuff out there, I'm going to have to, conform to some kind of schedule that works with the algorithm gods and whatnot. And I know Isha, the activist witch on YouTube, is excellent for info for stuff like that. So if I could just get my concentration to stay in one spot long enough to watch a full informational video like that, that would be great. Because I know, yeah, they've got tons of good stuff over there. Anyway, hi. If you haven't seen my stuff before on Insta, I'm Shelley, a goddamned harpy, pretty much across all platforms now, including Tidal, where I love to put playlists from this whole folklore thing that we were doing over on Insta for a while, me and some pals. And it was so cool. If you are some of my black sheep and you caught that, wasn't that ace for a while there? It was so much fun. We were really shaking the snow globe. We were really shaking the panty jar a bit there, and it was good. So let's continue. But now obviously I'm having to diversify, and maybe I'll try and get an Insta on the go again. I would love to, because obviously that's where most of my kind of stuff was that I created, so it's the easiest platform for me to use, and also it's where most of my mates were. Moira, I hope you're all right. By the way, I know you're still dealing with, your IOPS and injections and stuff, so hope you're good. Kath, I haven't heard from you in a bit, but I know you're busy. I know all the witchy folk are very busy right now. And Imran, where are you? I really miss Imran. I'll miss having a good cackle, a good laugh every day with Imran and sharing chai spice recipes and weed strains, our preferred weed strains and whatnot. So if you're anyone else, Imran, other than Insta, although I know you were having a ball over there, so I don't blame you. It is fun when you get a handle on it. Yeah, and obviously I hope everyone is still tapping in, and because I've been giving my nervous system a bit of a break, I haven't really seen much of the immediate news of what's going on, but I know, my heart is always with the Palestinians and my Palestinian mates and the diaspora, or that I feel that I've connected with in recent years, and just everybody that's kind of advocating for a free Palestine and decolonisation in general, just to save our own asses at this point, and moving away from our institutionalized way of thinking and doing everything, and this hierarchical patriarchal nonsense that we have perpetuated, all of us, for too long now, that has really just done us all a disservice. I have, so much stuff to talk about, and it'll never be bloody structured, because it's me. It's just going to be like this, I think, until I figure out how to incorporate more of my art on this longer form platform. But in the meantime, if any of my previous black sheep chummies, or the folk that were kind of following all of that, see this, I haven't even, because I've been giving my nervous system a break and catching up with family, I haven't even really followed most of yous yet on any of it. Because, well, perimenopause, my memory is not that great right now, so I'll have to go back through all my screenshots of all my chums lists and, whatnot, and grab everyone. I know I've at least caught up with Lupa Lipe, Joseph Anthony DePice, I don't know how to pronounce your name, mate. I've never actually heard you say it. And obviously I've caught up with Kath and Moira and stuff over this way, and Emily, I think, as well, and Abby, and where is Heather, that witch Heather? She's always disappearing off into the ether because she's not so great with the socials. But yeah, if any, and I was talking to was it Ethan there was a great author that I was talking to recently that I just started connecting with on Instagram, Ethan Demont. Dahlia, you'll know who that is because I think we both interact on your posts quite a lot usually, or did on Insta. I hope you're keeping well, Dahlia. And Nima, I haven't managed to catch Nima on any of the other platforms yet. So I probably will have to try and get back into Insta at some point and just lay a little bit lower this time, maybe a little bit more under the radar. Be a little bit more strategic about which friends I'm allowed to follow straight off the bat, because honestly, that's all I need to do. Go back into Insta with a new account, follow a handful of my friends, and I am guilty by association as always. It's too much, plain speakers, to be honest, people that just say it like it is. Anyway, so I think I'll leave it there for now because I've babbled on long enough. And maybe this is the kind of thing I will do, and maybe folk are cool with that. It's certainly good for my ADHD brain, I think, just to have a suitable place to spew all the hyper-verbalization that comes along with it sometimes. Better medicated now, so not all the time. But yeah, I think we'll leave it there for now. It might just be loads of babble, but I think I want this to be like a reciprocal thing, a two-way street, because I'm very much still learning. And coming out my bucky, I'm very much just stretching my baby wings right now and exercising a bit of confidence. And creatively just, letting myself be a bit silly and exploratory and trying to pull in a lot of the themes about my animistic folk practice here in the northeast of Scotland, and my practice as a chaos magician, a chaot who practices chaos magic. And, I do my kind of animism from that framework and how that intersects and all that. There's loads of good stuff I want to talk about, and obviously all the social themes and the justice things, because being, recently diagnosed neurodivergent and still actually going through further diagnosis at the moment. I'm not even fully finished that process. One of the biggest things that's come to light for me in terms of really accepting who I am and unmasking is my justice sensitivity is off the charts. Seriously off the charts. When it comes to traits, I'd say that's my number one, really, is the justice sensitivity. And it makes a lot of sense if you saw my stuff over on Insta previously. I was always screaming about something, getting upset about something. I am very much that empath, really. And there's that whole thing recently has kind of come to light, and going through a bit of an awakening in terms of my empathy and a leveling up in terms of my awareness externally and internally. Loads of stuff to be put in here. And I suppose I will have to structure it a bit better than just branching off constantly, but really that's medicated or not. That is me. I tend to go off in tangents because my little brain is always firing off in loads of different directions, and and I just have to accept that and go with that nowadays. So it'll be pretty chaotic too. Not in the terms of how my chaos magic is, that's a lot more deliberate and structured, but I am also, as an aside, quite a bit of a chaos demon myself, so you'll just have to bear with me, and hopefully that's going to garner us all a little bit more acceptance of different types of women, neurodivergent women, perimenopausal women, how that process intersects, and how it affects your perimenopause being neurodivergent and chronically ill and having, invisible autoimmune illnesses and things like that, and high sensitivity. There's so many good, yummy stuff. So I guess I will have to at least pick a topic and try and stay relatively on point with that. But I'm always going to side quest because that's just who I am. Anyway, if any of my black sheep see this, and at this point it's anybody who wants to jump on, and if you haven't, if you didn't see my Insta stuff before and the folklore that I was kind of weaving there, and the people that had kind of, the the community that had started to build. Yeah, get on board now. You'll soon catch up. I'm sure it will make sense in no time. As soon as I figure out how to do stuff on this longer form, and you know, some proper video editing, digital editing on an app or something. So yeah, I'm always open to suggestions, pointers. Always please give me a wealth of grace with anything, because well, because I'm that ADHDer, I do tend to be a bit of a pebble skimmer, and I skim a lot of social themes, and I watch a lot of kind of the rise and fall of social, you know, uproars and peaks and troughs in interest. It does also mean, as a skimmer, I sometimes am a bit shit at being politically correct all the time. I certainly want to be, and I'm always open to folks saying, hey, that's actually problematic. Seriously. Let me know if I'm being a dumbass, because I will be at least 20 times a day. So if that's cool, I'm going to be here as my imperfect self. And I'm always learning and always will be. So yeah, if there's anything that I'm messing up, or anything that you think that would make my life infinitely easier in terms of what digital stuff to use, or, you know, any pointers at all, always gratefully received. Anyway, and in the meantime, if any of my black sheep from before could just pass on that I'm here and I'm on TikTok for now, and I'm not really diving into the, you know, what's going on in the world at the minute, because I am having a bit of a nervous system rest. I think maybe for the first time in almost a decade, really, like really allowing myself it. So, and that's good. I need that so I can get a bit more intentional, focused, figure out what I'm doing now with this kind of community that I'd amassed before we all forget each other and move on to the next thing. Yeah, I'm just looking to tighten that web and pull it back in wherever we can across a wider scope. Oh, and Ellie, she of the North Sea. Oh, are you on any other platforms, mate? Missing so many folk. I was having so many good chats there. Anyway, let each other know if you are on or can be bothered being on TikTok or YouTube or anything. Give me a shout there and try and connect a bit more. Although I can tell already from when I first opened up, well, I've had YouTube for ages, but when I first started interacting with it, like people who I was friends with who are like, I'm going to go and follow you right now, have not been able to, or, you know, I haven't been able to follow them, or haven't been able to find them, or some of their profiles are just blanked out. So, you know, the same people who seem to be a little bit restricted across the board. And we're still always asking and still always connecting and putting those bits together and trying to glean as much kind of actual, you know, digital evidence as we can to prove that that is on a different level, and for some. But yeah, let's just keep connecting and doing what we do best. Stirring that pot a little bit, shaking the snow globe, bringing up those uncomfortable social themes because of social inaccuracies and, you know, insincerities we tell ourselves that we should be outgrowing now if we want to actually see any change. It comes, you know, from within us first. So all of that. Anyway, I will catch up with you, Black Sheep, again. I'm not going to promise it's going to be this subject or that subject. I think it's just going to be a bit of a mixed bag until I find my feet, but I'm not going to do that behind the scenes like I used to. I'm going to clumsily and imperfectly do it out here and hope that you guys give me a wealth of grace. And if I'm, you know, monumentally fucking up, tell me. I'm always open to constructive criticism and feedback. Obviously, don't be a dick unless you want me to be a dick in return. But yeah, other than that, any help gratefully received. And let's keep connecting and give me a shout. Tell me what you guys are up to. I'm slowly just, I think at the moment, just dipping in more of on the social side and more just connecting slowly. And I'll get round to following you all again properly soon and checking my screenshots for all the names of everyone I've been connecting with. All of that. All right, Black Sheep, take care, and I will catch you in the next chaotic installment of whatever this is.